separating the score you get from your innate abilities, it might be one step. Your actual abilities are, yes, reflected in that score to some degree, which is why you got the score you got. But it's also, subject to a little bit of randomness, which is why LSAC itself admits that if you get a 165, you have a plus or minus 3 in either direction. Like, they don't really know if you're a 162 or a 168 because there's a certain amount of randomness involved. And you know that this external factor came into play and it kind of messed you up. But, well, you've at least learned from that factor. So if you've learned from that factor, that might be enough to get you back to where you would expect to be, problem solved. What you really want to do is try to anticipate any other similar problems that might arise. And I used to tell people a lot to try to imagine the bad things that could happen on test day. And they'd be like, why would I want to do that? That sounds so like depressing or like discouraging. But oddly enough, I think if you try to like run through random things that could happen, you naturally start to come up with solutions for them. And most solutions are the same. They're like pause, reset, and keep going, right? But then when they do happen, you know what to do, as opposed to just being thrown off by the mere surprise of them happening. Like, most problems are actually not as significant as they end up being. It's just that our reaction to them is not as elegant as it could be. And that's what makes the problem bigger. Right? Like, for example, if you get an easy or you get a hard first game, you expected it to be easy, it was hard, you just spent 14 minutes on the first game, you're like, oh my God, I've never done that before, this section is shot. Well, maybe not. Maybe the last 3 games are easier and you could blow through them if you just stayed focused and kept going, but instead we're so like stressed out about it that we kind of not really focus, and then we don't do well and become self-fulfilling. And then hopefully that will prevent the one that happened to you as well. Well, not that it would prevent the thing from happening to you, but it would change the way you would react to it so that you would minimize its impact.